This is a new Storyteller Overland Mode LT. It's built on the Ford Transit chassis. It's the first time you can buy a Storyteller on the Ford chassis. So I'm super excited to check this out, see how this differs from a standard, from the regular Storyteller. It's built on the Mercedes, and check out all the new features of it. So let's check it out. The first thing that I notice about this are the bronze wheels. These are specially made by Storyteller to kind of make the Ford Transit look just really, really awesome and really cool. That I think looks just beautiful. I've looked at other Ford Transits before, and I think these are the best tires that I've seen on them, the best wheels. So let's move over here. We'll go inside. Before we do that, you're going to notice right here that there's about a 2-inch lift on this. And coming over here, this is a fold-out table, so you can kind of hang out here, have drinks out here, some food. This is an aluminum table, very lightweight, and just magnets up here, just out of the way. Doesn't make any noise while you travel either. All right, let's head inside. So if you've ever looked at a Storyteller before, then you're kind of used to the layout. And the layout of this is pretty much the same, except there are some differences because we're in a Ford and because this is an updated model. First thing, it's a little bit bigger in the Transit. We have a few more inches up here and a few more inches just all around. So it's going to feel a little bit more spacious. Other thing to note is it's pretty loud outside right now, but it's pretty quiet in here. So they fill this thing with insulation. There's Havelock wool insulating it, which is mainly for temperature control, but it also does noise reduction as well. It's pretty darn quiet in here compared to how loud it is out there. Now, one of the coolest new features that's rolling out for all the Storytellers for 2022 are these touch screen panels. So every remote you had before, every button, every control can now be controlled from here. On the Mercedes, they're on the other side. So this is kind of unique that on the LT, it's above the sliding door right here, which is really nice because you can be standing here and access it really easily. So I'll show you this one first. This is how you control your climate. So I click climate here. I can turn on the HVAC. I can open up the vent that's right here. I can turn on the AC. I can turn on the heat. And one of the coolest features about this is that if I turn this on, there's a magic climate button. If I click on that, I can set a temperature, and it'll make sure that we stay at that temperature, which is really, really nice feature to have right there. Coming to the home screen, you can see the fresh water tank. We're at 56% here. This is the gray water tank, and there's also a button here for the water pump and to turn on the hot water. Knowing Storyteller, because we have a Mercedes one, the hot water in here is excellent. You turn that on, you'll get instant hot water. We have showers in here, which I'll show you in a minute. Plenty of hot water for that. So that's really, really nice that they have the same system in here. You can come over to the lighting right here. And this is how you control all the lights in the van. So you can control the awning lights outside. You have cabin lights right here. You have these reading lights throughout the van and cargo lights in the back. So you can turn them on and off and dim them as you want. Or if you want to dim all of them, you can do that easily right here. And let's say I set the mood. I'm thinking this is pretty nice just the way that it is. Let me save that as a preset so that the next time I come in the van, I just hit preset number 1 and we get the exact same lighting as we have right now. Coming over here, this is a button for the Volta system. Volta is what powers this van. There are huge lithium batteries in the back of this van. That's what you run the AC with, the refrigerator, all the lights, everything back here. And we have 12,000 watt hours of power with the Volta system. So this is how you turn it on. This cover just kind of covers it up so that at night it's not shining bright in your face. And this is the Volta control panel. It tells me I have 30% charge left right now. And one of the fastest ways to charge this is just by driving the van. If you drive the van, this thing will get powered up to 100% on the highway in about an hour and a half. It's really, really efficient. And that's one of the things we've always loved about it, is that you can just drive it, it charges up, and then you have so much power. We run the AC with this thing, and we still have plenty of power left in the morning to run the AC more, plug in our electronics, all that sort of stuff. And there's other things in here. You could also set it to go to sleep if I hold it down. Same thing with this one as well, so that at night, turn off all the screens, and you can get all lights out and be comfy for the night. So coming below the panel, here's the galley right here. So we have the same sink right here, And again, the water pump up there. There's also a water pump over here now to make it super easy. You can just turn that on and run the water. There's also a sink drain pump to help you drain water out, and hot water circulator right here, as well as a switch over here for the lights in the back, for the cargo lights. This is something a lot of people requested for storytellers. There used to only be a switch for the cargo lights in the back. Now there's one here and one in the back, as well as one up there. So plenty of ways to control it. We have a microwave right here. And in this top drawer, we have the induction cooktop that comes out and you can put on here. Now the reason this is so awesome is because this is electric, obviously. We have a ton of electricity in the van. So this is the most efficient way to cook. And once you're done with it, you can just put it away so that you have plenty of countertop space right here. You could also use it on the outside table, which I showed you guys towards the start of the tour. Plenty of other drawers here for storage, and these are really, well-designed, sturdy drawers that can stand up to a lot. So coming over here, I want to show you one of my favorite things about Storytellers, which is the Groove Lounge. So this is the Groove Lounge. And what makes it so groovy is that you can configure it into whatever mode you want the van to be in. That's why they're called modes. So right now we're just in the standard mode. This is where it would be if you're driving. And there's a table that you can put over here. I'll show you that in a second. But let's say you get somewhere, you just want to kind of relax a little bit more. What you can do is, I'm just going to pop this pillow off. And there are these levers over here that allow me to fully configure the Groove Lounge. So now this goes down and I have a second seat over here. Seat number one, 2, and then seat here. Someone can sit next to me here. You really fit 4 people right here. What else can this do? Well, you can open this up some more and this becomes a bed. So you can even lie down here like this. You could pop this up if you want to lounge a little bit. Whatever you want, very configurable. And I sleep here a lot. I'm 5'8". I put a mat down. I'm very comfortable here. So that's why I love the Groove Lounge. You can do so much with it. Okay, so above the Groove Lounge, we have some more cabinets, plenty of storage in here. And this cabinet is not a cabinet. This cabinet is the Halo shower system. So this is where we put our showers in the Storytellers. So if we pop this part of the Groove Lounge up, underneath here is a flex space, and this is kind of like a pan. So if I lift this up, there is a pan down there with a drain that goes into the 24-gallon gray tank. By the way, this van has 21 gallons of fresh water on board. And to deploy the shower, I just unscrew these. Oops. This comes out. Unvelcro this stuff. Pull this out. And that's the shower. I stand in the pan. I run the hot water, turn it all on. Again, hot water on demand, great pressure. We take showers in our Storyteller on the Mercedes all the time. It's the same exact system in here, and they're great, great showers. So the really cool thing is once you're done, this just dries off. We pop on that fan, this dries off, and then you just put it away. Because after all, why should a shower, why should a bathroom take up a ton of space in your van when you're only in there a few minutes a day? I'd rather be able to kind of put all this away, just like this, once I'm done, so that I can then use this space for something else, like that seat I showed you before. And that just makes a lot more sense. This pan down here is also where a lot of people will keep the cassette toilet that the Storyteller comes with. It's not in here right now. All right. All right, coming back here. You're gonna see some new stuff here for the 2022 Storyteller. So first, this is the garage space. This is where you can store all your fun toys. You know, like your bikes will fit back here, skis, whatever else, your rock climbing equipment. You can fit all of it back here, and you can use this however you want. There's an L-track system, so you can attach things in, whatever works for you. This is your adventure vehicle, so you use it as you want to use it. But What this also is the bed. There's a double Murphy bed here. So these just clip out. This side also normally goes up. And then you can just lower this down. Put the cushions in the right spot. And you got a nice big bed. Like this. And we sleep sideways in these beds because there are flares on the side. That's by a company called Flare Space. That allows the back of the van to be a little bit more open so that you can sleep sideways very comfortably. And two people can sleep sideways like that. But if you watch some of Chad and I's videos, you know, he sleeps there, I sleep on the Groove Lounge. And that's because he hogs the blankets. That's the truth. So coming up here, we have more cabinets up here, plenty deep for lots of clothes. And the cool thing about 2022s is that these cabinets back here are now removable. So this is what it looks like when it comes out. Let's say you don't have a lot of stuff, you're just going for a weekend trip. You could pop one of these off, leave it at home, and now when you come into bed, you could sit up in bed, you could lay down and have plenty of headroom, right? I'm 5'8" again, plenty of room here. So that's an option for you. They give you that option, or you could just leave them in there. All right, let's jump into the front real quick and I'll show you what the cab looks like for the Ford Transit, and then we'll go around back. So here in the Ford Transit chassis, I noticed some immediate differences between this and the Mercedes. So first, there's actually kind of less room here. This is lower down, but that gives you more storage up here. You can store like, I don't know, like maybe like some hats. There's definitely spots for sunglasses right here. And coming along here, I really like these like cup holders. I mean, this is not something we have in Mercedes. Mercedes, they're a European company, and for whatever reason, they have some really small cup holders. These are American cup holders right here. You know, like big gulps will fit right in here, and in here, and in here. So plenty of stuff like that. The seating is comfortable. I like it. I think the Mercedes seating is more comfortable. It feels very plush and luxurious, but hey, this works. This is nice. And you know, we have power seats here that are over here. I actually like that the controls for them are here. On the Mercedes, they're on the door, and I kind of find that a little bit annoying when you spin the seat around. So this is a little bit nicer to have that here. One thing you'll notice is that there's a red button right here. This is new for, again, all the Storytellers on the 2022s, not just the LT. And what this does is, let's say you get up here, you just packed up camp, you're about to drive off, and you turn around and you notice all the lights are on in the back of the van. Now you gotta get up and turn them off. Well, I press this button, all the lights, every single light in the van turns off. So it's kind of like a master switch, so that way it's a lot more convenient. Now, this is also a gas engine. That's different than the Mercedes, which is on a diesel. There are pros and cons to both. So obviously with a gas engine, gas is much more readily available than diesel. So you're gonna have an easier time finding a fuel station that works for you. Although we've had a Mercedes now for a while and it hasn't been that bad to find a station with diesel. There's plenty of them out there. Prices fluctuate. Sometimes diesel's more expensive, sometimes gas is. So, you know, it's hard to really say which one is cheaper or more expensive. But in terms of maintaining the vehicle, there are a lot more Ford dealers than Mercedes, so it's usually easier to get an appointment for a van like this than for one of the Mercedes ones. And it's usually cheaper because the parts are made here, or whatever the reason is. I'm not really sure, to be honest. But the parts, the labor for servicing a Ford is usually a lot cheaper than a Mercedes. Now, driving the Ford Transit, I've driven one before. It feels really nice. It's zippy, especially in cities. It feels kind of like you're driving a regular car, which is a lot different than the Mercedes on the diesel. Because I noticed with that one, especially when I first got it, I pushed down the pedal. I was like, wait, it just didn't feel like it was going at first, right? It took a little bit to really get going. Now there are ways to kind of correct that with like a pedal control, but this off the line really feels more like a car. But once you start getting off-road, the Mercedes just really handles off-road really, really well. This one still very, very capable. It's 2-inch lift on it, and you can definitely get off-road with it. So coming around the other side of the van right here, you can see right here, this is called the smart plug. That's how, if you want to hook into shore power, you can do that right here. This is kind of a unique shore power system. because it really locks into place, not like the traditional ones that you see. And this has been standard on Storytellers for a while. Coming over here, this is a ladder up to the roof, really sturdy ladder. I mean, Storyteller is all about quality, and this is a exceptionally well, in there ladder. It's not going anywhere. And this is how you put water into the van. Now, you might have noticed in the past that there have been 2 water intakes here, one for city water and one to fill up the fresh water tank. Now there's only one. I'll show you why that is in about 2 seconds. So coming around back, obviously the back looks a lot different on the Transit, I think, compared to the Mercedes. So you get a good look at it right here. Pop open these doors. Now back here is the water control panel. Again, standard on all 2022s. And what this does is, first of all, there's a water pump switch right here. In the past models, there was not a water pump switch here. I'm glad this is here because there is an outdoor shower back here. This is how you control the outdoor shower, and you kind of plug it in right here, it comes with it. And so now you get back, you're all messy, your dog's dirty and messy. Just turn on the water pump, plug in the shower, and rinse off. Super simple. You don't have to walk into the van covered in mud just to turn on the water pump. This is how you control the external port that I just showed you. Remember I said there was only one intake, and that's because if you want to use city water, switch to city water. If you want to fill up with, if you want to fill with fresh water, that's the fresh water. If you want to use city water, that's how you do city water. And then if you actually want to use the fresh water, you put it right there in the middle. So that makes it really nice because you can just control it all from right there. So right here, we have access to the water pump in case you have to service it. This used to be on the side for the older Storytellers, but they knew you had a lot of gear back there. It was hard to reach it. So they put it right here for easy convenience. And this is part of the gas furnace. So what it does is it actually takes gas out of the fuel tank that's used for your chassis, so you don't have to have a separate source of fuel for your heat. It's all one system. That makes it super easy. And now the heat can come back here as well. Now coming over to the other side, this box right here is where the Volta battery system is. And there's a switch here, no switch here for the cargo lights. There's a 12-volt outlet. This is how you can kind of get in there. And there's some 110 outlets here as well as vents for the Volta system. Now, there's nothing on the back of this, just like there's nothing on the back of the Classic on the Mercedes, but there's a lot of aftermarket things being built for this by companies like Vans, for instance. So there's gonna be a lot of things that you could add here, mod out the van. Part of the fun of owning one of these vans is completely modifying it to fit your lifestyle and the adventures that you want to have. So right now I am on the roof of the van. This is a front runner rack up here, so I can walk around, I can jump around. Very, very sturdy. We've had multiple people up on these things with no issue. This is the vent right here, the fan. This is for the satellite radio in the van as well. We have one solar panel. Kind of makes me laugh a little bit because yes, there is solar panel here, but the Volta battery system is so massive and the alternator is so powerful, you don't really need the solar panel. It's just kind of there for show. Everyone kind of expects one on a van like this. Really, all the power comes from that alternator. And they did move the fan over here as well as get rid of one of the solar panels and just made this one a lot longer. That way it freed up a lot more space up here. So it kind of makes it a lot more usable and easier to hang out up here. So if you like this video, you know what to do. Smash that like button down below. And let me know in the comment section if you are Team Mode LT or Team Mode 4x4. Then subscribe to the channel because Chad and I make videos about Storytellers and different vans and different van tours all the time. We get out, we make vlogs about living in our Storyteller and traveling around. So if that interests you, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Thanks so much for checking out the video, guys. See you next time.